So good morning. This is Tony Berrien, and this is the um, Hearing Loss Association of America Mission Viejo chapter. And in case you missed the change, we used to be known as the Hearing Well Club, and um, we are now the Mission Viejo chapter. And I just have to.
Oops.
Hey, my phone's ringing. Sorry. So,
Yeah, your permission, Jacob.
we are part of a much larger organization. We're just one chapter out of hundreds in the United States. Each chapter is strictly volunteer driven. There are no employees except at the corporate level. Um, and we depend on uh, your donations in order to get through. Now, right now, there isn't a lot that we're doing outside of Zoom calls. But this is the end of the year, and any donations that are made are tax deductible according to we're 501c3. So depending on your tax situations, it could be deductible. So I'm going to, Alan Katsura is here, and he sort of acts as my assistant. I actually made him the host today in case my internet goes down, because, Laguna Woods goes down quite easily. So he's the host in case I go down, in case I disappear. I'll jump back on my phone, but anyway, so I put him in charge. So I'm going to let him give you very quickly, because there's not a lot of you, and I think all of you probably know the Zoom instructions. But Alan, go ahead and share your screen. I will take care of the waiting room, and you can do the Zoom instructions. Unmute yourself, Alan.
Do I have the slides for the Zoom?
Okay.
It's a
Oh, no, you don't. You want me? Okay. Okay, let me share mine. I'm sorry. I thought you indicated you had it, so.
No, I just wrote down the slide numbers.
Okay, let's see. I got stuff I gotta move off of here so I can see. And
You could just go F5.
oh, okay. There you go. Thank you.
Okay, so we will review some basic instructions for viewing Zoom on the desktop. If you have a mobile device, a smartphone or a tablet, they will be different, and you can find out more on those by going to the support section of Zoom. Okay, I don't have remote control.
Oh, okay, that's right. Yeah.
Okay, the first thing is to know about Zoom for people with hearing loss in particular is that there are closed captions. You go to the menu bar at the bottom of the screen in the CC icon there. You click on the arrow to the left of it or to the right of it, and there's a submenu there. And the one at the top that says show subtitle is how you would enable the captions. You can also view a full transcript of what's going on in the meeting by clicking on view full transcript, and that would appear in a separate window. If you need to make change the settings on your subtitles, you could go to subtitle settings, and that will give you the option to change your font size. You can also grab the subtitle block and move it around on the screen so you could so it's not blocking anything that you're trying to see. Okay, next slide. If you need any help with using Zoom, you can use the chat function to ask for technical support, and I will attempt to help you with any problems that you have. Next slide. To open the chat window, you go down to your menu bar at the bottom of your screen, and you just click on chat icon, and that will open up the chat window. The window can be docked to the right of your screen, or it can be floating. And you can change that by going to the upper left corner. If it's docked right now, you can go to the upper left corner of the white or the chat window, and on the up, and there's a caret there. Click on the caret, and there's a sub menu that says pop out, and you could take that and you can move the screen or the chat window anywhere you want. You could chat to everybody, and that's the default setting in the chat window. You can also chat privately or directly, would be a better term, to an individual by clicking on the drop down and selecting the person you would like to communicate with.
Okay.
Okay, next screen.
I was a little quick.
And we would like for you to use the raise hand option in reactions if you have questions. So that is also in your bottom menu bar. It's all the way to the right. And if you don't see it, you might have a icon that says more. You may have to click on that to display it. And the raised hand is the large bar on the bottom.
Okay. I want to make a comment here. If you go back to the view full transcript, when that is open, you have the opportunity to save the transcript. And you could do this throughout the meeting, or you can do this at the end of the meeting. If you do it in the middle of the meeting, it's not going to get everything after you click that. So before you leave the meeting, or before the presenter closes the meeting, if you click save transcript, and it'll automatically save on your computer. The same thing is true for chat messages. You can save those on your computer. And it's right here with the three little dots. Click on there and you can say save chat. So sometimes if we give you a link to click on, or an email address, contact information, that can be automatically saved on your computer. Did I say that okay, Alan?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. So here's the disclaimer. HLAA does not endorse any single product or service, and this meeting is intended to provide information, education, and support. Okay. Looks like I need to speak up. Okay. I have to mention our sponsor. Caption Call is a sponsor. They assist the chapter. They pay for our captioning service. So Joe Gale, who's in Chicago, is captioning live as we speak. And Caption Call provides captioning telephones for landlines, smartphones, and iPads. And the really great thing about it is with the iPad or even the iPhone, you get a separate number so people can call you or you can call them, and using the caption services and with the caption phone. Okay. And for anybody that has a caption phone and needs customer service, their number is 877-557-2227. That's to order a phone, get customer service, etc. Diane, you have a question?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yep.
I just wanted to ask if during the presentation, everyone could mute themselves, please, because there's some background noise coming up.
Okay,
Thank you.
sure. Okay. And as I mentioned before, Mission Viejo is a 5013 tax exempt chapter, and tax deductions may be available to you depending on your tax status. And everyone that helps is a volunteer. So we have a treasurer, Jeff Chess, and we have our secretary, Judy Mandel, and we need a vice president. So if anybody would like to work with me, and I'd really like to start expanding our services in January, I would love your help. Okay. I'm the president. That's my contact information, Tony at HLAAMV.org, and my phone number. And this is being recorded, so I'll be emailing out everybody. Okay. I email out the recording. Okay, we can stop this. So today we've got help is on the way, which would be good news on the holidays. And our first presenter is David Walker. And he's from the Lions Sight and Hearing Foundation of Southern California. So it only serves Southern California. And they're not the same as the Lions Club International. They are their own nonprofit organization. And, maybe, David, you can explain if there's any connection at all. So people do confuse that quite a bit. So, David, you're up in the Long Beach area?
Yes, I am.
So I'm just wondering, it's just the wind and the rain has been horrific down here. How is it up there?
It's blowing, and then the sun comes out, but it still sprinkles. So it's just one of those days.
Oh, lucky you, lucky you. Well, I'm here with my my hot beverage is sort of some coffee, weak coffee, staying warm. So it's really good to have you. And so what would you like to share with us at this point? I think.
Well, first of all, I'll touch base with your comment about how we are affiliated with the Lions clubs and how we got our start. So we're an organization that's been around for 60 years in Southern California, and Lions clubs helped found our organization. There was a number of clubs up in the Santa Monica area that were initially trying to help provide funding for surgeries for those that needed it for hearing or for eyesight. And they put all their funds together and created the Lions Sight Foundation. And then eventually we became the Lions Sight and Hearing Foundation. So we got our start from Lions clubs, and they support us financially. Not enough that we're able to break even every year, but we ask the clubs to support us, and we try to go seek funding from other sources. And as you will learn today, our goal is to help any individual that is of low income who needs support to assure that they can restore their sight and or their hearing. And this past year, we've helped over 150 individuals so far that have asked us for help. And in some cases, that help may be that they have insurance and but are still financially in a tight situation, that maybe we can help them with the co-payment if that is such a situation that needs to happen. So as you learn more about us today, I'm hoping that you will keep in mind that we are here. We want to serve as many people as possible that need help. This includes sometimes hearing aids, working with audiologists. A lot of times it has to do with ophthalmologists, individuals that are potentially getting a retinal detachment or have cataract needs. We can help make that happen. And our response time is very fast so that we can respond as quickly as possible. I have a short video. It lasts about 7 minutes. And I think maybe it would if we could show that, it might help all of you have a better understanding of how we started, what we do. And then I'll come back and close with some comments and then take some questions. That sound good, Tony?
Perfect. That sounds good. Alan, are you going to show the video?
I don't have the video.
You have the link to the video.
I do.
Okay, let me see if I can get it. I've got it right here. So let me just. All right, I'll share.
Don't forget the 2 little check boxes for the video and computer speakers, computer sound
Oh, okay.
on the share screen.
Okay, now let's see what we got here.
And then you can hit the start button on the left.
So I want to get. We'll let the captions on YouTube run.
Sometimes in life, we only appreciate something once we have lost it. Just ask someone who has lost their sight or their hearing. Millions of Americans are losing these irreplaceable gifts every year, and they have nowhere to turn. Can you imagine going to work and realizing that you can no longer hear an important client on the phone? Or driving down the road and discovering that you can no longer read the road signs?
We're driving along and I can't see the street signs, so I'm going like, I'm looking for this street. And I'd pull up and I'd have to depend on her to tell me the street signs.
It's Golden Sand Avenue.
Okay, thank you.
This is happening more than we realize, and it is happening to people of all ages around us. Unfortunately, with the rising cost of health care, the inability to obtain health insurance, and lack of coverage, many Americans have nowhere to turn. Typical cataract surgery costs $4,500 to $6,000 per eye in Southern California. Basic hearing aids can cost $4,000 to $6,000 per pair. For those with hearing issues, there isn't much help available, since most health insurance, including Medicare, doesn't cover the cost of hearing aids.
A lot of insurance don't pay for hearing aids, which I think they should for seniors, or seniors get a discount at least.
Imagine if your very livelihood depended on your hearing. When Ed Cohen arrives at a recording studio, he needs to be able to hear to do his job.
I mean, it's a very, very critical function for everybody, you know, more so when you're dealing with music and you
Whoops.
have to get all those frequencies.
The gift of hearing can not only make a difference in someone's job, but it can be the very thread that keeps them part of the fabric of their community.
Well, like I said, I quit going to church because I couldn't hear the sermon. In fact, Kathy used to get annoyed with me. She said, well, I just told you that.
Hearing loss can be so gradual at first that many people don't notice right away. But over time, it can really alienate them from their friends and family and make life very difficult. But we're not just talking about adults. Kids are struggling with these issues as well, and their families don't always have the means to help them.
Not being able to see kind of put the kids in a place where they didn't develop as fast as they should have. There's pictures of Emily at her first birthday party holding like a $5 bill this close to her face so she could see it. They just weren't able to do the same things as kids at their age because they did have sight issues.
What if the threat of blindness crept up on you right in the prime of your life? Suddenly your dreams of college, a career, and your very future were at stake. This was the case with Tim Seward.
It was probably like a couple years ago when I noticed like a significant like sight change in my eyes. It was almost as like part of my vision like had like a curtain fall over the left part of my eye, and I realized like there was something wrong that I needed to go get checked out. I saw 2 other doctors the same day, and they were telling me that I had a retina detachment going on and whatnot. And yeah, it's a whole day to spend in the doctor's office trying to figure out what was going on and not knowing how serious of an issue it was.
Thankfully, there is a light at the end of this dark tunnel. The Lions Sight and Hearing Foundation is here to help. Starting back in 1959 at a clinic at St. John's Hospital in Santa Monica, Dr. Robert Sinsky provided eye surgery to needy local residents. Later, the foundation began offering much-needed assistance with hearing aids for those in need.
When someone calls the foundation, they have either lost their sight or their hearing. And usually I can hear in their voice that they're at the end of the road, that they're desperate, that they're feeling almost hopeless. And once we start talking, because my job is to help find out as much as I can from them so we can say yes, so the foundation can provide them with help.
There are many heroes in this mission, one of them being Dr. Robert Fabricant, winner of the foundation's Helen Keller Humanitarian Award for his work treating more than 80 LSH clients with surgery to save their sight.
So Lions Sight and Hearing are well aligned with us. We have a common interest in serving our communities, in restoring sight, and really making people's lives better. The Lions Sight Foundation is assisting people without insurance in getting their cataracts fixed. So there are populations of people who are essentially too affluent for Medi-Cal and too young for Medicare. And that's really the hole that is filled by this service. The thrill of taking the patch off of an eye that was legally blind a day ago is magical.
And now I can drive, I can see everything excellent, you know, since the surgery I go through, and I can see I'm driving along with my friends and I tell them that the next off ramp such and such, and they're going like, you can see that far? And I'm going, yeah, without glasses I can see better than they can with glasses. So, like I said, it's a miracle.
Absolutely. The Lions Sight and Hearing Foundation is the best organization you can imagine.
Like everyone else kind of just turned me away, and without the Lions Foundation, I probably wouldn't have got the surgery done. You know, they were there and they helped me. They're the only place that was welcoming and accepting and didn't care about, you know, X amount of dollars. They cared about my health.
The LSH service area covers nearly half the state of California, or 70,000 square miles, and accounts for more than half of California's population. For people who require surgery to save their vision, sometimes treatment is unaffordable, even if they do have insurance, because of high deductibles or copays that they can't meet. In those cases, LSH can step in and provide the funding to fill the gap. The story of Lion's Sight and Hearing continues, with life-changing work and an amazing team. But we ask for your help to spread the word about how we can assist those in need. There are many ways to contribute to the mission. If you know someone in need, please point them in the right direction. We are here to help. We also require your financial support to allow us to expand our mission. We know the need is there. Let's do this together.
Well, I hope that was explained a little bit more about what our foundation does and what we do. My purpose of trying to get together with you today was to ask all of you to keep in mind that there are individuals in your community and people that you may know that might need help, and to please contact our foundation. We're found on the website under Lion's Sight and Hearing Foundation, actually lshf.org. And in order to get our services, we have a very simple process. And I think Tony might have those, might share those with you in an email following. But there's a small application that needs to be completed. It's not very complicated. It's 3 pages, pretty much asking for your name, address, your financial situation, what's the issue that the person's facing, and what is the prognosis and help that's needed. And then our team will evaluate that and respond as quickly as we can so that we can say yes. And so we are looking for individuals to help us. And we have some brochures that we'd love to send your way. Tony, if you need any more, we could certainly do that. And you could distribute to your membership here in this association so that others can access our services. We are a nonprofit, so we also ask for financial contributions. And if you're in a situation that you obviously understand the needs for sight and hearing, and if you'd like to support us in any way, we would love to have your support. We also are looking for used eyeglasses. We take those eyeglasses and we donate them to a sister organization in the Lions, and they use those glasses and all around the world to help individuals to be able to see better. We also take used hearing aids. Sometimes we're able to refurbish them and reuse them, and especially with today's technology, these new hearing aids, they're just a matter of us trying to get the right parts, and maybe we can again pay it forward to somebody else. And I'd love to be able to put a couple boxes of collection boxes if you'd like, Tony, and if your group and your board would be willing to do that and collect these hearing aids and collect eyeglasses, and we can tell you where to ship them to. That would be absolutely wonderful for all of you to help us be able to do that. We, as a nonprofit, if you have any used automobiles, we take the used automobiles as well, and we can turn those into cash to be able to pay it forward for another individual that may need our care. So we've been able to, because we're a very small nonprofit, for every $1 donated to our organization, we're able to turn that into $8.50. So that's an 850% return on an investment for a contribution to help restore sight or hearing for an individual. And the reason we can do that is because our providers, those audiologists and ophthalmologists and optometrists, are often willing to do things with us at their cost. And our reimbursement time for them is very, very fast and very much appreciative. There's also another favor that I have to ask of you is when you get these brochures, I see some of you have eyeglasses, some of you have probably most have hearing aids of some sort, is to let your audiologists and your ophthalmologists and optometrists know about us, because sometimes they don't even know that we're here, and they're the first individuals that can realize to try to help that person. And I don't think that they really want to turn them away. And so if they knew that there was an organization like us that was willing to help, we may be able to help any individual that doctor may see. So with that, I don't know if anybody has any questions. I'd be glad to take them at that time. If you raise your hand, and then I'll go from there.
I have, let me see, I'm going to raise my hand.
Okay.
Okay. So I have a question for you. If somebody's already working with an audiologist or an ophthalmologist, is there a way that patient can continue working with the professional that they selected and work through your organization?
There's a great possibility of that. If we, in part of our questionnaire, we'll ask who they're working with, and we might want to contact that specialist, or that doctor or audiologist may want to turn around and reconnect with us and see if we can help that individual. So most definitely we can do that. We also try to connect, and I appreciate you asking that, because we don't want to have an individual have to spend any money trying to go to a doctor or audiologist, hundreds of miles away, and have to spend so much time in traveling or hotels, etc. So we do appreciate it when we're able to find another audiologist or ophthalmologist, optometrist that might also become a partner with us. We call them a providing partner. And usually they'll say, hey, if there's anybody else, send them my way. I'd be glad to help them out. So we always look forward to working with a new doctor or a new audiologist.
That's wonderful. Diane, you want to unmute yourself?
Hi there. I have been trying to pare down my story, but just briefly, I belong to Kaiser. I am legally blind. I don't know if you can see, I have very strong prescription reading glasses. And my problem is that Kaiser's labs cannot fill this prescription. I worked with them most of this year, and they just could not get the prescription. And I'm just wondering, I also belong to them through Medicare and Medi-Cal. Is this the type of situation where if I filled out an application, you might be able to help me find an optometrist, a low vision optometrist who can work with my prescription?
I don't know that as a matter of fact, but I certainly would encourage you to try. That we have a different team that would work with you, Diane, and try to see whether it would be possible to work on that. I don't know. Could you use any surgery to help the eyes and then make it become a little better for you?
I have retinitis pigmentosa, and I have had cataract surgery. And at this point, I don't think there's any surgery that could help the RP. I can see mostly, with no problem, except for reading. And just if I want to pick up my iPad or pick up a newspaper, I need the glasses to read. And these I have had for probably 5 years now. It's like the finish is wearing off, and I just need new lenses. And Kaiser just hasn't been able to do it. The last pair I got there was a line of distortion right through here because they couldn't make these thick lenses. So,
I would just encourage you, Diane, to pick up the phone and call our office. Do you have a pad and paper there?
yeah, hold on, I've been making notes, so.
Okay, wait, I'm trying to find the phone number for our office organization. Hang on for a
Well, I
second.
got your website, I can look it up.
Okay, I would call and then talk to Lindsay and ask for Lindsay
Okay,
and tell her that you spoke with me and maybe she might be able to help you out. We don't provide glasses. Typically, that's not what not that you're asking for that, but so everybody else understands. You know, some glasses today are so reasonable that people could be able to purchase them at prescriptions. But it sounds like your prescription is very
specialized.
Yeah, specialized. So we try to direct our services to really those that are having really difficult times. And it sounds like you are, Diane. So
yes,
we might have some resources that might be able to find an optometrist.
Yeah,
Something, but I don't know that for a fact.
Yeah, because I've learned that this is kind of a universal problem for people with specialized lenses, is that there are very few labs or even optometrists who will work with this. I have a friend up in Oregon who's going through the same issue. And so the more information I can collect, the better.
Yeah, I would ask Lindsay, she may know somebody and this is a thing that she might work on and be able to help. Hopefully we can do something, Diane, but I don't know for a matter of fact.
Okay, well, thank you very much for answering my question.
You're welcome.
So I have a question relating to this. It would seem to me that if Medicare covers glasses, particularly low vision, that Kaiser would have to cover that. I'm running into the same problem with my mother, who is going to be 95 in February, and she has macular degeneration, and she can no longer see well from standard prescription glasses, and so she had to go to a special optometrist. And she lives in San Diego, and there's like one guy, one person. It's a real specialty. So that is difficult. But it would seem to me that if Medicare covers glasses, and maybe they don't, then insurance should cover them, especially if you are a Medicare recipient. I'm sorry, Diane, I don't know if you're a Medicare recipient.
No, yeah, Tony, I have Medicare and I have Medi-Cal through Kaiser. And because of those plans, I have a $300 coverage for eyeglasses through Kaiser. But the main problem is that because they can't get the prescription that I need, I have to find out if I can take that coverage and use it elsewhere, because I'm also low income. So having that coverage helps. But it's a matter of fighting to get that $300 and use it outside.
Again, our foundation may be able to help with that a little bit, Diane. I don't know. Just depends how well you explain that to
Lindsay. Yeah.
To Lindsay. Yeah.
I was just trying to answer Tony's question. So.
Anybody else have any questions?
Anybody have a question for David Walker? So now Alan has put 3 files in the chat that you can save, and I think there's going to be one for Marcy. And what I would like to propose, Alan, if you're agreeable, is that after we close the meeting, those people who would like to, those people who would like to learn how to save transcript, how to save files from chat, hang on and let Alan explain that to you. But I will end the meeting, I'll stop the recording, and then if you have an interest in learning that, we can do that. So Okay,
Thank you, Tony, for having me here and everybody, and hope that maybe your association will consider collecting glasses and hearing aids at the very least in Laguna Woods. I know you're going to have a lot of people that have those and probably looking for places to do that. I think we also have, if you'd like to join a local Lion Club, I'll send Tony some information because there probably is a local Lion Club in the area. And you might enjoy getting out on a weekly basis and having lunch or breakfast or whatever they do and help them continue their efforts to help those that need sight and hearing issues and any other community issues going on in Laguna Woods.
wonderful, wonderful. I still have the boxes you sent me.
Okay.
In 2020.
Okay.
We didn't get out. I didn't get out on 2020 really. So, and I have yet to find a place in Laguna Woods. Marcy had suggested our social services office, and I think that's the ideal place. And so I'm going to ask the social services department if they would put a collection box there.
You might want to put one at the library if you have a library. I think that we've had some success with libraries.
Okay. Excellent. Thank you. Thank you for that idea because I'm very happy to do that for you.
Looks like Maureen has a question.
Have more of an information. They used to have places to dispose of glasses in all the clubhouses. I don't know if they still have them or if they took them away because of the lockdown, but they used to be there all the time. And I used to dump my old glasses there until I had cataract surgery and don't have to wear them anymore.
Well, I'll let you guys live there, so you know the best place to do that. The other thing is if we found some successes with, and I hate to say this, but funeral homes, mortuaries. The families often look for places to, you've got a $5,000 set of hearing aids and they don't know what else to do with them. And here we are, and your association could be collecting them and forwarding them to us as an opportunity. So, a lot of families face that issue when a person passes away and they have the hearing aids. They don't know what to do with those expensive pairs. So, if you have I don't know Laguna Woods that well, but I'm sure there's probably some mortuaries around there that you probably could talk to and just take that on as a little community service project for us. That would be appreciated.
David, do you also collect cochlear implants, processors, and equipment?
I don't know about that. You just throw them in the boxes and they go to a specialist and I don't really know that answer. That's a great question. I'm gonna have to find that one out myself. But in the meantime, absolutely, I would say take it, and because we're to help anybody. If it can be reused again, yes, absolutely.
And I would say as an audiologist that the answer is probably no. That's a medical device. It's paired with something that's medically implanted in your head. And the processors are very specific. So although it sounds good, it's not like a hearing aid.
Very good. Thank you for telling me that. Appreciate you chiming in on that comment.
Yeah. Okay. Well, thank you, David. It's wonderful having you again.
You're welcome. I'm curious, you're the audiologist that just responded to me.
Yeah.
Did you ever hear of our organization before?
I did about 6 or 7 years ago. Somebody came by. I think you were located in Costa Mesa, or there was somebody there, but I have not recently heard of your organization. So
okay.
I'm the audiology advisor for Tony's group. So I'm glad to hear about it.
Okay, thank you. Tony, I think that's all I have.
Okay, thank you, David. Thank you so much. So
You're welcome.
Those who are interested in finding out or applying and asking for services, there is an application, and that application is, we put that in the chat. It's also available at your website. I don't know if did we put the website address up there, Alan?
And you have a website too. You might want to throw that in your website as a resource.
Okay. Well, I'll make sure that anybody who needs to get that information gets that information.
I enjoyed meeting with you all and talking with you. Stay safe and warm.
You too. Thank you, David.
You bet. Bye now.
Okay, well, I'm so excited to have Marcy come now. Marcy is here in Laguna Woods. She represents the Laguna Woods Foundation. She's going to tell you about the services that they offer, and it's not limited to sight and hearing. And now we'll just let Marcia tell you.
Okay. Good morning, everybody. I think it's still morning.
Yes, it is.
I'll try to be as concise as possible so I don't keep you too long. In my prior life, before I was retired, at one point, I was a commissioner in my local government, and I used to have to go around to community groups and talk. And I used to start off with a question is, do you know the 3 greatest lies in the world? And I'm sure everybody in this group knows the first one. The check is in the mail. The second is, I'll still love you in the morning. And the third is, I'm from the government and I'm here to help you. And that usually brought a chuckle from whoever was my audience. But I can honestly say I'm from the foundation and I am here to help you. The foundation is the safety net in Laguna Woods. We work hand in hand with social services, and our primary function is to provide emergency financial relief to residents when they face some type of emergency. Sometimes it will be somebody coming out of the hospital. They need caregiver services. Sometimes it's because of the cold, a very high Edison bill that they didn't budget for. Maybe they're in the donut hole and they got a prescription that really is outrageous. And sometimes we have repaired hearing aids for people who qualify for our assistance. If I leave nothing else with you today, it is one phone number, and that is the phone number of social services, 949-597-4267. That is the entry point for our assistance. Nobody comes directly to the foundation. They go through social services, who reviews their claim and then submits it to us for payment. I should point out some things about our assistance. I personally, and I approve the claims, have no idea who gets our help. It is all confidential. Second, we pay the vendor, the bill. We don't give money directly to a resident. Over the years that we found that to be a safer process. And there is a cap on our assistance. It's approximately $2,500 a year because we're really not a welfare agency and we depend on donations from the village. I should point out that we also provide other types of assistance in the village. We are the agency that funds Meals on Wheels. We assist the South County Pantry, and we provide transportation to the pantry for people who do not have their own, because you can get a week's worth of food once a month. We also provide scholarship for Alzheimer's daycare with Alzheimer's Orange County. I should point out that during the pandemic, we went into high gear. And if you're still having issues related to the pandemic in terms of access to food or shopping assistance, please call social services. We, during the first year of the pandemic, we distributed over $30,000 in grocery cards to residents in Laguna Woods. I'd like to end by saying, and let me just repeat the phone number that I gave you before, social services, because that's the entry point. It's 949-597-4267. And that's the way to get assistance. Many people in the village themselves don't know about the foundation. I have to end by telling you next year, 2022, will be our 25th anniversary.
Wow.
And over the past 5 years, because that was the only records I could easily get my hands on, we have spent over $1.2 million helping residents in the village. We only help people who live in the village. I'm more than willing to answer any questions. I want to wish all of you a very happy and healthy holiday. I think that pandemic has been a wake-up call for all of us, and we know the importance of our neighbors more than ever before. Our motto is neighbors helping neighbors. Thank you for the opportunity to make this presentation.
Okay, any questions for Marcy? We did put a brochure in the chat that's downloadable. And of course, if anybody would like me to email them personally, you can reach me at tony@HLAAMV.org. And so you can email me at that address, and I'll just respond to you rather quickly. So
I would just like to say that Marcy, thank you very much for that information. We, as the audiologist, we work closely with the social services in Laguna Woods, and the foundation has done an amazing job of supplying hearing aids for some patients who just, it's been life-changing for them. So I really want you to know that they are very grateful. And I think could you clarify, is the only major requirement that somebody live in the village for at least 3 years? Is that the minimum?
Actually, we've reduced the 3-year requirement. I believe it's now 2 years. We had a major policy change. We decided that we would try to help more people. The other requirement is social services, I hate to use this word, vets the request. They see if it's a realistic request. Sometimes there's family that can help. Sometimes people don't know how to access their own insurance. So they try to exhaust all other avenues for help before they come to us for money. But I have to tell you, I've been doing the approvals for 5 years. I don't remember ever turning anybody down for assistance. And somebody once asked me, do we budget? Do we have an annual budget? And my philosophy is, when the money runs out, the money runs out, but we're here to help residents.
that's wonderful. Yeah, I really like living here in Laguna Woods. I like the idea of the safety net being available. So is there any?
And I have to tell you, Laguna Woods is unique. I think we're the only HOA in the country that has an organization like this that helps our residents. And I have to tell you, 99% of our money comes from the village.
From the residents.
From the residents themselves. I don't go outside and bang on people's doors.
Right. So it's not just hearing, it's not just vision, although you could help people with that, but it's also like utility bills, that sort of thing.
Our bottom line, let me be very blunt, because we find the biggest, and I try not to be too long. The biggest event changing people's lives in Laguna Woods is they move in here as a couple. And one part of the couple passes away. And all of a sudden they're trying to make it on one social security check. And one social security check drastically changes their life. I see requests from people seeking assistance who are trying to make it on $1,500 a month. And if your HOA is high, doesn't leave you too much money for other things. Our bottom line is that nobody in the village goes hungry. And if you think about all that we do, we put a big emphasis on access to food. That's our bottom line. Meals on Wheels, the pantry, and grocery cards. No resident should have to choose between filling a prescription and buying food. And so that's been our priority from day one. I should add one other thing that may be of interest. Several years ago, we had an intern who did a research study and looked at the ambulance calls to Saddleback Hospital Memorial Care. Half of those ambulance calls were due to falls. And if you remember, before the pandemic, we started a fall prevention program. We're hoping when fees ease up after the pandemic, we can restart that. But over this past year, we've purchased and maintained over 60 emergency response devices for residents to make sure that falls are not an issue. So if somebody does not have the money to do it on their own, they can apply through social services.
So that's like a button.
Yes, that's the button. And we purchase it and we pay the monthly fee.
Wonderful. Can I ask you, in all your time working for the foundation, what is the most unusual help that you've offered?
I had a 92-year-old woman who could not afford to replace the battery in her golf cart. And that was her only means of getting around. And we did purchase that battery. I mean, look, our bottom line is quality of life. So if that's what it takes, we do it.
That's wonderful.
I have a question.
Sure.
It's Diane. I don't live in Laguna Woods. I know quite a few people who do. As far as there are HOA fees, are those set for every person? Are they the same across the board, or is it possible that if need arises, if somebody could get those fees reduced?
I am not aware of any reduction in fees, and we do not help with HOA fees at all, because that would not be
social services.
Yeah, that is not something we handle.
Okay, that's just a curiosity question.
No, and it's going to be a problem next year, particularly in Third Mutual, where they're going up $90 a month.
So as far as social services goes, do you have an income limit for services?
No, we do not, because every story is different. And so what might be eligibility for one person is not for another. So it's really those individual circumstances. It's done on a case-by-case basis.
Gotcha. Thank you.
Thank you, everybody. I wish you a happy holiday. I have a book group starting in a few minutes.
Okay.
Have a great day.
Marcy, thank you so much.
Not a problem. Take care, everybody.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Okay, so we have a few people left. And I'm going to say, wish everybody a Merry Christmas. I'm going to, when I stop the recording, if you would like to get that extra instruction on how to save the transcript and how to download and save the chat, please stay, and so Alan can show you how to do that. And I want to thank Joe Gale, who did our captioning, and our presenters are already gone. And I really want to wish everybody a very happy holiday.
Same to you, Tony.
Okay, thank you.